Did God's warning to America, like his warning to Israel to make choices for life and for God's blessing, did that warning from God start on 9/11, or did it begin much prior to 9/11, in your estimation?
A great question. Well, I believe the Lord is always calling, and He always has voices. And before He does anything, He warns and He calls. So I believe the Lord has been calling. 9/11 was a shaking, and that is the pattern. The shaking that for a nation that is deafened itself to the voice of God, then the only thing that can get through is a shaking, and that's the first sign of biblical judgment. The pattern is it always begins with a strike on the land. The nation's hedge of protection is lifted temporarily. It's a temporary, limited strike, but it's an enemy makes a strike. It's a shaking to call the nation back. But instead of coming back, look at where we were at 2001 and where we are now. We have grown further, and it's September 11th that began the appearance of the 9 harbingers, or the 9 warnings of judgment that appeared in the last days of Israel, all appeared in America beginning with 9/11, and that's what I wrote in the original book, The Harbinger. But I knew when I wrote it that it was not the end. I mean, that was the beginning of the mystery, not the end. So what's happened? I knew that there was always going to be another book or another word to go out, but it could only be at the right time. And since then we just have been going free fall. And so I was praying last year in September, Lord, what's the next book? And I got it's this. And also I got very clearly, and I shared this publicly, that about this year, 2020, that it was going to be a year of shakings, great shakings, and that it was going to be the resuming of this mystery. And that's why I had to write the Harbinger too. And so when I started writing it I started writing it in January, and then by March, everything came upon America. So I believe this is so much that this is the most critical time. God is warning, but if we don't listen, the warnings get more severe.